Welcome back. It's Masters Week, finally. Jenks, how you feeling?
Feeling good, dude. Excited.
Excited. I'm excited. Coming to you on a Sunday, potentially Monday. When you see it, it'll be Monday when you see this.
Yeah.
Sunday evening after another Jacksonville Jaguar loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to spend too much time on that.
Probably not. No. If you're new, which you might be, because we're expecting an expanded audience this week. Could be on Facebook, could be on YouTube, just because it's the Masters and you're looking for fantasy help. Welcome in, fantasy from the fairway. I think we're in week
4 or 5.
Five,
Maybe.
I think.
Five, probably.
Week 5. We're happy to be here. Last week, Houston Open. Long story short, way harder than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these random dudes, my picks were horrible.
Yeah,
Lee
same.
Westwood, I hope they left him in Houston. Didn't get him on the charter.
It was pretty bad.
It was really bad.
Really bad, yeah.
Really bad. So you'll see the updated numbers and whatnot at the end, but pretty bad. But we're over that. We're on to the Masters in November for the first time. There really doesn't need to be much more of an introduction, other than if you're new. We go a little long sometimes. There's a lot of good information, so find the timestamp that you might need for your range. Click on it.
And lots of money. Lots of money out there this week.
Lots of money.
FanDuel, I know, is having a ton of money. DraftKings, always, is doing the $1 million contest. So good luck to everybody playing this week.
Good luck, and hopefully you learn something here. So we're going to do it the same way we always do it. We're going to start off with the course that everybody knows, but I guess we'll just tell you about it real quick.
Brief. So like Casey said, we're just going to run through this very quickly. Everybody is well familiar with Augusta National. We're going to Augusta, Georgia. It's going to be a par 72 like always, 7,475 yards. It is a Bobby Jones design, and it will be featuring Bermuda grass fairways and bent grass greens. This has been the course. It has hosted the Masters since 1934. That's pretty crazy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get into the previous winners. As we know, last year Tiger Woods made history and won the 2019 Masters, got himself that green nice jacket. The year before that, Patrick Reed won the Masters at 15 under, and the year before that, Sergio Garcia took home the trophy and the jacket with a 9 under. As always, Augusta National, we're going to be looking at the key stats, which for this course, we're going to be looking at strokes gained approach or greens in regulation, strokes gained putting, 3-putt avoidance, and par 5 scoring. 4 of the 6 holes last year that played under par, they were the 4 par 5s. So if you're going to want to find yourself at the top of the leaderboards, you're going to need to play the par 5s very, very well this week.
Let me throw something in before we get off of here.
Of course.
I'm going to go back. It all ties in. So previous 3 runners, like you said, Sergio, Patty, and Tiger.
Yeah.
When looking at how they played,
mm-hmm.
It's interesting, in my opinion. So to start, you had Sergio hit 75% of greens.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Reed, 66%. Tiger, 80%.
Mm-hmm.
So, you need to hit the greens, but, Patrick Reed did it in a way that he didn't hit
right.
as many.
If you're not going to hit as many, you're going to need to putt. The greens, like always, are very, very tricky.
Right.
That's why I think 3-putt avoidance comes into play a lot more here than other courses.
Yeah. Here's, something interesting. Let me check Tiger real quick because I don't remember. No, okay, so it's different with Tiger. Sergio played the par 3s at 1 over.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick played him at 4 over.
Right, I saw that.
So, that doesn't matter. I mean, Tiger played him 4 under, but, Patrick played the par 5s at 13 under, and Sergio played him at 7 under.
Yeah, you're going to have to play the par 5s well, and, like always, you're going to have to play the par 4s well. Like Patrick Reed did in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
The 3s are important. Of course, Tiger won, and he played the par 3s very well. But you don't necessarily have to play the par 3s that well if you're attacking the par 5s to your best ability and, getting, pars and bogeys probably you're not happy with on the par 5s.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. But another thing I think you're still on the key stats. I'm trying to do 8 things at once. Um, it it really doesn't matter if you hit the fairway here. I mean, it historically hasn't been that big of an issue. I mean, sure, it helps to be in the short grass, but like it's not the end of the world. So you're going to be okay there. Like you were saying, the par fives. I listened to an interview with Rory whenever his last event was, and he said that he had asked Phil what's like more or less how does he know his game's in form and what does he work on right before the Masters. And Phil told him, I'm paraphrasing here, around the green is where he tightens up because he feels confident about the rest of his game. Because the way that the course is, you're around the green with your drive if you're Phil or Rory or something like that. So I thought that was interesting. So I looked at that a little bit, and the only other stat that I looked at that maybe you didn't was I put the par fours between 450 and 500 since most of them are.
Yeah.
But so I threw threw in the around the green, threw the off the tee in there as well, just because it's
like you said, there are courses on the PGA Tour throughout the year where your play around the green, I wouldn't say is unimportant, but it's not very important, and this is definitely not one of those courses.
I agree. I agree fully. My phone finally cooperated. I was trying to figure out how many FedEx Cup points Tony Finau got you.
Okay.
From this morning, but
right.
So with that, you know what we're looking at. We're doing something different here, 10K and above. And the reason we're doing this is there's not necessarily a bad play, but okay, so what we're doing, I guess, without explaining it at all, is we ranked them individually. I ranked mine, you ranked yours. This is the top 10K and above players. We did it individually, and they're pretty similar. I mean, obviously, there's some differences. I'll let you start. Both of us have the most expensive ranked player in the bottom half. And we've got middle ranked price players in the top. Yep. Sorry, I got thrown off there because if you're on the slide, that's Dustin's price at 10,000, not 10.5, right?
Yep. That was my bad.
That's okay. But I'll let you start. You have Dustin, Rahm, Rory, JT, Bryson. Why Dustin over Rahm? And why Dustin over everybody?
Dustin Johnson, if you go to the next slide, he's in incredible form. His last 6 appearances on the PGA Tour have been the second, first, 6th, second. His strokes gained in 2021 approach is 1.833, which is second on tour. 2020, last year's putting average, 1.704, which was third on tour. In the last 4 Masters Dustin Johnson has played in, he has finished 10th, 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Not a single time out of the last 4 times he has made the trip to Georgia has he finished outside the top 10. And that is why I think I like him the most out of anybody in this field.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson can, without a doubt, win the Masters. There's no doubt. But as much as I hear you, and I heard you, trust me, for me it's Jon Rahm over at the top. I'll start where you did, or I'll start where you finished, I guess I should say. Rahm's only played in this event 3 times. He's made the cut all 3 times. 2017, his first year, he finished in 27th, and then 18 4th, 19 he finished in 9th. It's not like the extensive history that you just laid out for Dustin Johnson, but it is fair. And look, he's playing well. Again, he's not playing as well as Dustin, but he's playing well, in my opinion. I think you could, I don't know. I guess it's a feel thing, but the way that I pictured DJ's game, obviously it fits the course because he just bombs it down there. But I don't know. I just feel like Rahm's game is a little better here. Rahm, there's not a wrong answer here.
Rahm and DJ are similar off the tee. Both hit it a long way.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't like Jon Rahm. I just like DJ more. But in my graphic, Jon Rahm second.
Right.
2021, he's hitting 71.3% of greens. 2020, he was 70.31% of greens. But in Augusta, you're not trying to get you don't want to go you don't want to have errant shots on your approach. That's going to leave you in super bad situations. And I really like Jon Rahm because he consistently puts the ball on the green.
And the thing I hate to say about Rahm is the wild card with him is what if he gets pissed?
Yeah, he has those holes. He has meltdowns.
Right.
Probably more than other like best of the world golfers.
Well, my thing is Dustin Johnson's not gonna get pissed.
Yeah,
Dustin Johnson shot 80-80 and didn't get pissed.
Yeah, but Rahm's been working on that a lot. Like 2 years,
Yes.
you're not seeing the same John Rahm you saw 2 years ago when he was having like temper tantrums on the golf course.
Agreed. Just for Rahm's recent history or recent play, second, 17th, 23rd, 4th, 1st, 6th, 13th. So, I guess we're kind of in agreement that these two are interchangeable at the top. And I think you could play either of them for the prize. I think it's definitely fair. Which we had a computer meltdown here, and I'm not sure if we got it back. But even if you can't see the slide right now, I can't see your computer. Rory McIlroy comes in at third for both of us, and that's honestly just the fact that he's Rory. I mean, it's kind of crazy that he's been criticized for his play since the return, and this has been his last few finishes: 12th, 8th, 8th, 21st, 17th.
Yeah, for sure.
He hasn't missed a cut in the year of 2020.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're looking for more than a made cut at 10-2, but like
right. And you were talking about how he's been like criticized for his return, but at the same time, he would before the end of I guess the shutdown you could call it, he was on one of those DJ tears, like
yeah,
where he wasn't. It was something crazy, like 10 or 11 straight top tens. So when you're complaining about Rory playing poorly, that's crazy because he's still not missing cuts. He's
right,
just not on that DJ tear he was.
right. And I mean, you've got to, it has to be brought up, I guess, every time that Rory plays at the Masters from now on. But this is the last one he needs.
Correct. Yeah, we
And
mentioned that on the show 2 weeks ago, I believe.
to jump into your most recent point, the run before the shutdown: second, third, first, third, fifth, 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 canceled because players.
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah, he was hot, but yeah, I mean this is the one he needs, and if you're Rory, I hate to say it if you're a golf fan and enjoy watching Rory, but if he wins this with the newly becoming a dad
Mm-hmm.
and all that,
Mm-hmm.
who knows how much longer we
You
see Rory?
see, at the same time, you say that, and I completely get where you're coming from. But at the same time, he had his kid, and then you watched him play at the opening of Tiger's new course, which was like
That's
4 days
true.
after.
That's true.
And he's just out there,
But that might have been like a prior. You don't.
Yeah,
He
for
got
sure.
a
No,
bag for that.
I definitely agree. But I would like to think he's just passionate enough. Like I think he can be a good
I'm
father
not doubting
and
his
still
passion. I'm just saying, like, where
play.
else is there to go from here?
Mm-hmm.
If he
No,
wins?
you're not wrong. And also, just talking about Rory, they were criticizing his bad play. There's nothing to criticize about his history at Augusta.
Yeah, I just pulled it.
Yeah, 2014 8th, 2015 4th, 16 10th, 17 7th, 18 5th, and then 2019 he really crapped the bed, 21st.
Right. He hasn't missed a cut there since 2010. He was. Oh goodness, math in my head is bad, but I want to say he was 21 because he's 31 now, and it's been 10 years, so 21.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't missed the cut since I was 13. Rory has not missed the cut at Augusta.
He's went to Georgia 11 times with hopes of winning. He hasn't, but in that time he's put together 9 top 25s.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're that good at golf, it's kind of like the Brooks Koepka thing. When you're that good at golf, you're dialed in for the tournaments you care most about.
Yeah, no doubt. And so here's the crazy thing. We've talked about those three, our three favorite plays in the top 10K and above range.
Right.
And they are the three cheapest players.
Correct. Yeah.
So I've got Bryson above JT. You've got JT above Bryson. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can take JT or you can take Bryson. Up to you.
Bryson DeChambeau is a freak.
Yeah.
He had it all working at the U.S. Open. He had a lot of it working at Shriners. That's the only 2 times we've seen him this year. Look, there might be some par fours that he drives the green.
Mm-hmm.
If he has any other parts of his game working, God forbid he has two other parts of his game working, like I don't know, around the green and putting,
Well,
he's going to win by 10 strokes.
I mean, yeah, I think when you are looking at beefy Bryson right now, you're guaranteed two things.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to hit many shots that you can believe they went that far.
Yep.
Or that he's that far in front of the people he's playing with,
mm-hmm.
and that he's going to putt. Like, those are two things you already know.
Right.
He's great at putting, and he can hit the ball a very long way.
So with all that being said, we have seen times where he has not a clue where his irons are going or his wedges.
Or his driver, honestly.
Well, no, he doesn't know where the driver's going. You can say whatever you want about that. He doesn't know where it's going. But I don't think that's going to matter a ton. He's probably not going to be in anybody's backyard. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Not at Augusta. So,
It's not even like I have him fifth in the 10K.
It's the price.
It's the price.
It's
for
the
sure.
price because
you have somebody like DJ at $1,200 cheaper.
Yeah, and then Rory's 1,000 cheaper, and
if you take DJ over Bryson DeChambeau, you're either going up from a 6K player to a 7K, a 7K to an 8K. Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the fact that I'm not telling you he couldn't win because he can, but the fact that he could be all over the place with every other club in his bag, with all the clubs in his bag except the putter, for that much over Rahm, DJ, and Rory, I can't.
And I don't necessarily dislike DeChambeau. I liked him a lot more before he was hitting this far. Like, I still like him. Like, he's all right. But when you focus, who are we talking? We were talking about Ricky.
Yeah.
And his new, like, when he changed his swing, you're focusing less on putting. When Bryson is doing right now, he took the past 4 weeks off to, like, practice with his longer driver. He posted a picture that he hit a ball 400.3 yards carry.
Yeah.
I think there's the concern that he's working too much on the driver.
Right.
And he's not focusing enough on other parts of the game, which we all know every part of the game is important here.
I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, it's the price for me because, I mean, my current lineup that I have right now on DraftKings doesn't even feature a 10K player, but we'll get into that in a minute. But it's just the price for me. Justin Thomas, on the other hand, I'll let you take, but I do have some stuff to throw in as you go, unless you hit it, which I figure you might.
I mean, it's not necessarily that I don't like JT. He's great on approach, and I think this it could be a course like he could really excel at if he's really dialed in with his irons and has short putts. But for me, right here in the 10K range, there's people we just talked about with incredible course history here, and like we know play the majors just so incredibly well, and he's been getting better every single year at Augusta. 2016 he was 39th, 2017 22nd, 2018 17th, and 29 12th. And it's kind of crazy to say like those numbers, they're all very good. They're like not as good as the other people in this 10K range, and that's the only thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's just it's price, and I would go to Sham. I mean, obviously, but I don't know. I can't do it with JT, and I think you're right. It's just the crime of the price of Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, at 10-7, I just like people. I like 3 players, as you can see by my list, that are cheaper than him.
Yeah. So I mean, that's where we are there. Feel free to tell us we're wrong, but that's I have all lost control of my tabs.
For us, just once again to say this, like our rankings, we're not saying Bryson DeChambeau is going to do poorly.
No,
because I don't think he is. I think he's going to do really well. But for me, it's the price.
Agreed. And now let's go to that 9K, and you want to talk about a crime. A crime has been done here, Jenks. What is DraftKings thinking?
I hope you're talking about Xander.
Sure, but let's be.
And I hope you're talking.
But let's be reasonable now.
Brooks as well.
Let's be reasonable. Brooks Koepka. 9-7. I mean, are you kidding me? Brooks Koepka is going to finish in the top 5. Write it down, mark it down. I don't care. I don't care if both of his knees break. He's going to finish in the top 5.
Well, we just talked about what there's 5 people in the 10K range. Xander and Brooks, to me, I don't think any other players on tour have had better track records in majors.
No.
They both just play the majors.
Right.
Brooks would be fine playing 4 events a year.
Right? Yes, you're right. It's. I'm trying to figure out a way to put it into words without cursing,
Mm-hmm.
but it is like
It is.
Brooks
Agreed.
Koepka is going to be owned in like 70% of leagues, even if he was
Mm-hmm.
$12,000.
Yeah.
Can you imagine now? Like if you do a lineup without Brooks Koepka, you're idiotic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, like just get to the stats. Brooks Koepka, he's won 4 of the last 9 majors he's played in: the 2017 and 2018 U.S. Opens and the 2018 and 2019 PGA Championships.
Mhm.
8 out of those. Okay, in the 8 of his last 10 majors, he's been top 10 or better,
Mhm.
and in Augusta last year, tied second.
And yeah, here's the thing. He last year in 19 tied second, as you said. His worst finish in a major in 19 was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
He finished 29th at the PGA Championship this year, all due because he totally crapped the bet on Sunday. He was in first, or he was in second, he was right. Remember, he made the comments about DJ and crap. He was
Yeah, for
right
sure.
there.
Yeah.
So, and he was not healthy. There's no doubt he wasn't healthy. I know we skipped over Xander, but this is just wrong what they did to Brooks Koepka here.
No,
And
I think it's wrong what they did to both of them. Because we just talked about how good Brooks Koepka is in majors. He's right next to in pricing. What is that? Yeah, he's a $100 pricing buddies with Xander, the guy who's probably played the major second best.
let me throw this out before we get to Xander. If you watched any of the Houston Open, which I'd imagine there's a decent amount of people that are going to play DraftKings this week that didn't. So if you're listening
Mm-hmm.
to this is what you need to know. I watched a lot of Brooks Koepka because he was featured group, and I was at work on company time watching Brooks Koepka
Mm-hmm.
on PGA Tour Live.
Yeah.
He's healthy, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-back 65s on the weekend at a tough Houston Open course. He finished in fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks Koepka will not finish worse than he did this week at the Masters. Write it down.
I mean, I say this all the time. Brooks doesn't care about golf.
No.
He cares about the Masters.
Well, here's the
Like
crazy thing.
he is in one of the 4 weeks he cares about. You should own him.
Yeah, agreed. He's healthy, 100%. And if you happen to see the little question and answer thing he did with his, I don't know if they're engaged, so I don't want to disrespect her, but I'm going to, with his girlfriend on Instagram Live 2 weeks ago now at this
Mm-hmm.
point, he looked genuinely happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what like, happy Brooks is a weird thing to see, but,
For sure.
like, I'm here for it because
You.
I like
Mhm.
Brooks.
I think Brooks is one of those guys. Like he has such incredible talent in golf, but I feel like there are people who are so incredibly talented at something, but they don't necessarily love it. I think he kind of.
Falls there.
Yeah, but I don't want to disrespect him and say he doesn't like it because clearly I think you have to like it to become one of the best in the world at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think he kind of, I don't know, just got bored.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm with you.
But I think the time off he took with his knee, like I think he needed that.
Yeah.
I think he needed time away from golf and time to just like be a person.
Yeah. No, but look, the point of the story, he's healthy, he's criminally underpriced. If you want to win money, you have Brooks Koepka. It's easy.
The only thing I can say about like if you're not owning Brooks, it's because you think he's going to be crazy owned, which he probably will, and
Yeah.
you're just really praying he has a meltdown.
I wouldn't pray on that. I would not pray on, not this week. Xander Schauffele, let's get back to it. 9-8, he is priced above Brooks. We jumped it because it's so wrong what they did here.
Right.
It's so wrong what they did to Xander. Let me throw this in. If you're here because you read my articles, appreciate that. Thank you so much. I want to say, I don't know. I wrote an article about Xander Schauffele
Mm-hmm.
months and months and months. It's so long ago at this point. Significantly before the Masters was supposed to be played.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote an article about why Xander Schauffele is so good and nobody pays attention.
Yep.
And then in my last little paragraph, I put that I'd pick Xander to win the Masters this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's been some delay in that.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out if I do it at the end of the video. So stay tuned. But Xander Schauffele is a maniac.
Yeah.
He finished second last year at the Masters. He tried his best to run down Tiger. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
His last starts on tour, 17th, 2nd, 5th, 2nd, 25, 25, 10, 6, 13, 14, 20, 64th. How dare he at the RBC Heritage? We're way back now. And then third, and return to golf. So, yeah, I'll let you go.
Yeah, he's just another guy who loves the majors.
Yeah.
2020 U.S. Open, 5th, 2020 PGA Championship, tied 10th, 2019 U.S. Open, tied third. 2019 PGA Championship, tied 16th. And like you said, 2019 Masters, he finished tied in second. Um, I want to say he loves the majors, but he loves the PGA because he is just good at golf.
Yeah,
I don't know how
Xander's
else.
not Brooks. Xander loves golf in
Yeah,
general.
20 strokes gained total. He's third right now, averaging 2.641 strokes gained. Going back to 2020, because honestly, we don't have a ton of stats in 2021.
Yeah.
Greens and regulation, he finished 10th on tour, one putt percentage, 17th, par 5 scoring. He was the best on tour. If you're 17th in one putt percentage and 10th in greens and regulation, there's not a part of his game that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of players we talk about. Oh, he can't putt. Oh, he's bad off the tee. Xander has it all.
He does. Yeah, I mean, look, my lineup that I have right now is Xander, Brooks, and Cantlay. We'll get to Cantlay in a 2nd, but the problem with Xander, and I've said it, and I like Xander, he doesn't win.
Correct.
But at 9-8, he all of a sudden doesn't have to win because if he finishes in the top 10, that's good enough at 9-8, in my opinion. And he's finished 10 times in the top 10 last year / this year, depending on how you look at it. He's going to pay off the 9-8.
See, yeah, you're talking about he doesn't win, and we're going to get to him later. I'm not going to jump the gun, but I'm going to throw this out there. Tony Finau's the same way.
Yeah.
Really good at golf, doesn't win.
Right.
I think both of them, if I had to guess, will win this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they are just scratching the surface.
Xander can't play from the lead.
Correct.
Xander would be a horrible NASCAR driver because he'd be looking in his rearview mirror the whole time. That's the problem with Xander.
Yeah.
Just like last year at the Masters, he was never in the lead and he caught all the way up to Tiger, but then Tiger took it. Xander has to play from behind and sneak up and in. He doesn't win when he's in the lead. He blew it in Hawaii. He's blown it before. Like, with all that being said, I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, your best case scenario is if Xander's 2 or 3 shots off the lead on Sunday. That's the best case scenario for Xander owners. Cantlay at 9-6 is by far the darkest of all the horses. Cantlay, I project. This is just like projecting in the presidential race. Instead of ABC News projects. Casey Kurtz projects Patrick Cantlay will be owned in less than 13% of leagues.
Yeah. I'd put a lot of money on that.
Maybe 10%.
I'd also put a lot of money on that.
And that's a crime. Patrick Cantlay is one of the best players in the world, and people just don't pick up on the name, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, 17 out of 18 on made cuts this year / last year, however you want to look at that, however you divide that up in your head. His last event out, he won. Yeah, he won. And it's like, he won in the fall. That doesn't count. No, he won the Zozo, where literally every player was in the field but Bryson. Rory, Tiger, everybody. Rahm, DJ. Or no, DJ had COVID. Or was he back? I don't remember. Point of story is Cantlay beat all those great players. Last year he finished 9th at the Masters. You got to own this guy. You got to have this. Like, just because you don't recognize the name as like a top player in the world, he is. You want to throw anything out about Cantlay? I don't know if you're. I know you got computer problems.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing about Cantlay, I think the only thing you can knock about him is his performance. And once again, my computer's kind of shitting a little bit. His performance in majors is back, and not even really like doing poorly because he has a tied third PGA Championship in 2019, tied 9th at last year's Masters. It's just like every other thing. It's like 2021 U.S. Open, tied 43rd, 2020 PGA Championship, tied 43rd, 2019 the Open, 41st. If there's anything like I have against Cantlay this week, it's just like track record, I guess.
Fair enough. I think you go with him.
But I'm with you. You. He's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah. From there, you got Morikawa and Hatton, and I have. I'll lump them all together. You got Morikawa at 9.5, Hatton 9.4, Webb 9.3, Patty at 9.2. And as you see on the graphic, I would go Hatton and Reed over Morikawa and Webb. I think this is the first time we've talked about Webb. Is this the first time we've done a show where Webb has been on?
No,
Is it?
no,
No.
no. We've talked about Webb.
We have?
I think the first 2 weeks we did. I remember I made a graphic for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, look, here's the thing. I love Webb.
Yeah.
But like this just isn't it for Webb. Course history, finished 5th last, or 19, I guess. Then 20th, then cut, then 29, then 28, then cut, then 44th.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, and I don't think this is a course for Webb. And that's just my thoughts. And the reason that I put Patrick Reed above him is this is obviously a course for Patrick Reed. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I like their Reed. It just he's a good putter. He's good around the green. This fits him, I think. Hatton over Morikawa, I think, is interesting because Hatton is on a heater.
Yeah.
It feels like he's been on a heater like forever. And now
that's just his career.
Yeah, he's
heater.
His whole career is a heater.
Mm-hmm.
He won in a hoodie. We've talked about that every week, so that's why I kept it going. 7th in Houston after coming back, I guess you should say. He was not looking good the first 2 days, makes the cut, plays good on the weekend, just like Brooks. I just, for whatever reason, I can't get behind Morikawa. I understand he's a good approach player.
Agreed.
He's good around the greens, but something tells me in the par fours in the area, he plays them over par on the average. He's okay at par 5 scoring. I don't know. Something tells me Hatton over Morikawa.
Yep.
Am I
agree
bugging?
With that. No, I agree with that. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you that Morikawa is like a bad play, but I would play Hatton instead. That's just my
I'm gonna go real quick.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go back to Webb.
Okay.
Really short. You said like the Augusta might not be his course.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's not his course. I just think in the majors he struggles. He's the Xander, if you will.
Yeah.
I think in majors he's looking in the
looking in the rear view.
The rear view mirror, and he's kind of just getting.
He's a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, he's
left turn.
Like, because it's crazy. If you go down his PGA profile, his majors, he's good at them. Like 20th, 19th, 12th, 10th, 5th, 16th, 8th. Just doesn't win.
Right.
Has not won a major.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Patrick Reed over him this week. Could be wrong, but I just don't see it. Then at 9-1, Tiger Woods. I understand why you have to do it, but look, Tiger's not been playing well. 72nd, 88th, 51st, 58th, 37th, 40th, 68th. I don't see a way that you pay off having Tiger at 9-1.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a lot of Tiger fans, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people who want to play him after last year.
Y'all can feel free.
Right. He came back and did the unthinkable. He won.
But it was unthinkable.
I just don't see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, y'all feel free to own him, but when he doesn't make the cut,
I said this before.
The
whole point of this, unless you're going for that really, really unique lineup that's going to get you first place, the whole point of just making money in daily fantasy sports is minimizing risk.
Right. This is a way to do it.
This is maximizing risk if you want that super big payday or the $0 payday.
Right.
Yeah.
The last player in the 9K is Bubba. And what's going on with Bubba?
I like Bubba.
Well, yeah, this is.
I've always liked Bubba. He's back.
Bubba,
I don't want to say he's back, but he's playing well.
But 4th, this is his recent history, just in general. 4th, 7th, 31st, 16, 18, 71. We'll throw that one out. Fair enough. 25th, 32nd. What the heck is going on with Bubba right now? He's 11th this year, strokes gained on approach in a decent amount of rounds.
Yeah.
12. 25th in greens and regulation. 7th strokes gained off the tee. Like every single category you punch up, he's good. He's 59th around the green. I'm probably stepping on your toes because I feel like you had some stuff to say. 20th in total par 5 scoring. Sorry if I goofed you there, but this guy could win his 3rd green jacket this week.
Yeah, he's not on our. Wait, I don't believe so. He's not on our graphic.
No,
he is on our graphic. Okay, he is. Yeah. And I'm really glad because I didn't think he was. He's just good at the Masters. Even when he's not playing well, he's good at Augusta. He loves Augusta. He's from Georgia. I'm pretty sure he was a Bulldog.
He was a Bulldog.
Yeah, he loves Georgia. Even 2019, 2018.
Sucks
12th.
to be Bubba this week. Go Gators.
True. 12th, 5th, 2019.
Sorry to that dude that broke his leg.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
He didn't even get taken to the hospital. He watched from the sidelines.
No way.
In his air cast, yeah. He was on crutches.
His leg was facing the other direction.
Mm-hmm. They
God.
apparently got it facing the right direction so he could watch his team lose.
Oh, that sucks.
But yeah, Bubba loves the Masters, and I do like Bubba this week considering he's done well in the Masters at times when he hasn't been playing well, and right now he's playing well.
Yeah.
And I just want to real quickly, I am very sorry. Webb has definitely won the 2012 U.S.
Yeah,
Open.
he did. He did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to get
I
that
just
out there.
kind of thought that you kept when you were naming that history, you weren't going to go all the way back to like 2012.
See, because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But yes, he has won in 2012. Hasn't even thought about it since.
Right. 2012 was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was his seventh major.
Was 2012 the year the world was supposed to end?
I don't know. Like the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it 2012?
I don't know.
What did they make? They made a movie for that year. Wasn't it 2012?
I don't know, dude.
Couldn't have been
People
worse
thought
than
the world was ending in 2000.
By the way, as we jump into the AK,
Yeah.
it should be said because although we are talking fantasy sports, sometimes you got to throw some stuff in. R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
Yes,
That
dude,
happened
I did
today.
want to. Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah, if you're watching this, yeah, I'm assuming you know at this point. Sad day for just America.
Yeah. No, like we were talking about it, and this probably shouldn't be said, but like politically, regardless of who you like, the, okay, we were talking about politically. You know, there are people you don't like as Americans.
Yeah.
I think every American liked Alex Trebek.
Yeah, it's very
You're
hard
right.
pressed to because like how did Alex Trebek piss anybody off?
That's what I mean. I don't think there's one guy who's waking up and be like, God, that goddamn Alex Trebek and
Right.
what he did to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I
guess we don't know these celebrities' lives. He could have been a terrible neighbor.
No chance.
No chance.
No
dude.
chance. Alex Trebek was the guy that brought your newspaper up to your door because it was a bit too far away.
Yeah, that is very sad.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Jeopardy. The world, man, just 2020 is not it.
Terrible.
Is not it,
Terrible.
man.
Jeopardy will never be the same. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's going to be Ken Jennings. We're deep into Jeopardy stuff
Which is
now.
pretty cool.
Which is pretty
That
cool.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe if Ken has to take a day off, James can do it.
Jeopardy James. That's our guy right there. That's our guy.
That would be kind of sick.
Anyway, R.I.P. Alex Trebek. He was a real one. Let's get into the AK. Adam Scott is the weirdest dude of all time. Not like his personality, just the fact that he didn't play golf for months and then since has played incredibly difficult courses and made the cut each time.
Yo.
So like I don't know.
He is a professional golfer. We can assume he's playing all the time. Even though he's taking these tournaments off. Correct.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when we didn't see these people, and we still know they were playing like, I don't know, Tommy Fleetwood, just people like that, and they came back and didn't do well.
Right.
Yeah, he's hard to figure out.
And he's won this, obviously.
Yep.
So, like, I think you probably should play Adam Scott, but, like, it's obvious he's going to finish somewhere in the 30 to 15 range.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what you're going to get from Adam Scott. 8-8, Tony Finau. Do you want to... Do you have Finau usually?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got Finau.
Go ahead.
He's played in 10 majors over his very early career. He's been top 10, tied 10th or better in 7 out of 10. So 70% of the time, he's getting you a top 10 finish. Mm-hmm. Augusta, course history, tied 10th in 2018 and tied 5th in 2019. I just watched him talk the other day. He was in the final group on Sunday with Tiger. And he was telling a story about how they weren't really talking to each other because I think Molinari was in the group.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
it was.
So they weren't really talking to each other.
And Molinari had the lead. People forget.
Yeah. And Tony decided, to ask Tiger about his kids.
Okay.
Tiger gave him a death stare, didn't say nothing, then kept walking.
Really?
And Tony said the next time they talked was after 18.
Wow.
So Tiger was dialed in, but it is. Tony was playing in the group.
You forget that. I do remember that now.
Yeah, but like Tony can play this course. He knows what it's like to be at the top in Augusta. He's another guy like Xander. I think he's due for a win. Yeah. And he's another guy like Brooks and Xander. He loves the majors. Plays them very well. I just really like Tony Finau this week.
He's also 9th on approach so far this year. So I mean that Tony Finau is a good play. Hideki Matsuyama finishes second in Houston.
I'm going to take this one because I think this is something you don't agree with.
I never know what to do with Hideki, so go ahead.
Correct. And we have thumbs down Hideki
So
the
many times.
whole time, every
So
single
many
time.
times we've disrespected
And I think
him.
it's about time we give Hideki some respect because he is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, you're probably right on that.
Course history is not great. 2018, he finished 19th. In 2019, he finished tied 32nd at the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do know about Hideki is he is one of the best approach players in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he is one of the best players in the world around the green.
But when he gets on it is the problem.
Correct,
Right.
I feel like at some points he's very good at approach. Maybe he tries to hit the rough so he can work on that around the green game.
Okay.
But yeah, fifth in 2020 in strokes gained approach, fifth in 2020 strokes gained around the green. Just recent form because I have not liked Hideki recently, and I do right now, and this is why. The past 3 times he's played on the PGA Tour, he has had 69.44% greens in regulation or better. This was CJ Cup, Zozo, and then Houston, and these aren't like cakewalks. These are
No.
tough courses.
Yeah.
These are courses you have to be dialed in to play well.
Yep.
So he is like he's dialed in with his irons as you expect Hideki to be. This is the one that really caught my attention.
Sure.
If you watched highlights from last week, he made some from off the green, like he was dialed in around the green.
Okay.
He gained 1.13 strokes gained putting.
Oh my.
He was draining them.
If Hideki Matsuyama learns how to putt, it's a game
that's
changer.
what I'm saying. 1.13 strokes gained putting last week, tied second. There's nothing wrong with any part of his game.
I wonder if that's why maybe he finished in second.
Yeah. So the fact that he's putting well, I think he might be a little bit more confident going into this week. And if Hideki's putting well, Hideki's disgusting. Hideki's great.
Has a Japanese man ever won the Masters? I'm gonna venture to say
I'm gonna give you a fact check on that
it's gotta be no.
Yeah, I would be super surprised.
Now here's the question: if Hideki Matsuyama wins, and this not trying to be racist.
Okay.
How does it work when they do like the post interview, like when Tiger puts the jacket on him in the cabin and Jim Nance?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that going to work?
Does Hideki see? I don't know. Like, we've been to events with Hideki in it, and we've gotten autographs from Hideki, and we say thank you. He says you're welcome, but I'm very unsure.
But like whenever you hear them on the hot mic, like same with Sung Jae and all them, they're never speaking English.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. But I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. I'd like to see it though.
Yeah, same. I like Hideki. I like Hideki a lot, and I'm very happy that I feel like I can play him this week.
8-6 Tommy Fleetwood.
I love him. I really do. I'm not going to.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Because I'm gonna talk. We're over a lot on time, and I want to talk about Matt Wolff.
Okay.
It's pretty simple what I'm gonna tell you. All right, are you following here? Matt Wolff.
Yep.
I want you to throw every single stat out the door. Throw them all. Have you done it? Are they out the door?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're just practically looking at Matt Wolff as a human.
Correct.
He's played in 2 major championships.
Mm-hmm.
Tied 4th,
mm-hmm.
2nd.
Mm-hmm.
When the lights are on,
mm-hmm.
Matt Wolff is playing.
Yeah.
This man only shows... Not only. That's not fair. That's not a fair thing to say. This man shows up when the lights are on and more or less kind of shows up when they're not as bright. He's a big-time player.
Yeah.
Give me Matt Wolff in any major championship. I don't care what the stats say.
I don't think there's any doubt that Matt Wolff doesn't like to be on camera.
Right.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Man thrives on it.
Give me Matt Wolff any major.
Yeah.
Kind of like Brooks. Just trust me on this one.
I'm a Matt Wolff fan. I like anybody who is unconventional, I guess.
Yeah.
He is, and he's successful with it. I do like Matt Wolff here, too.
Yeah. So give me some Matt Wolff at 8-5. Once again, it's always... Why are they always priced next to each other? Jason Day and Sergio. I never know what to do. Jason Day, last week, I swore up and down not to play him. He finished in 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the way I see it. You got the same... You have something prepared for Day? If not, I'm just going to say this. You got the same problem that you always have. He could get hurt. But at 8-4... I mean, I like Wolff at 8-5, but like if you are in this area that you're 8-4 and below, I don't like any of the other guys below him.
Correct.
So I'd play Jason Day. I think he's definitely playable. Sergio, he won, and then since then has not been good. He has won at this course. So there is that, but
Correct. Sergio plays well when Sergio can get the driver going. That's just who he is. That's
yeah,
always been who he is. So I guess
I mean, it's definitely a fair price. He's probably going to make the cut, but like I don't know
I
how
think
well
that's a
he's going
very
to do.
fair price considering he
Yeah,
might not do well and he might do very well. It's like a risk, but
that's the same way I feel about the next competitor, Jordan
oh
Spieth.
god,
Um,
here we go with Spieth again.
okay, okay. Look, I got to adjust some things I said from last week.
Yep.
Okay, first off, screw off. Second off, when I turned on the TV that morning,
Yeah,
do
he
you
was
know who
hot.
was in DF first?
He was hot.
Jordan Spieth at
Michael
3 under.
Kim
Yeah, and then
was when who I woke up.
yeah. Okay, well, so after that, he misses the cut. By the way, I lied to you last week. I told you Jordan had won the Houston Open.
hmm
He lost in the playoff he was in. I thought he won.
Okay.
So that's on me. He's never won the Houston Open, and after this week's Houston Open, he still has not won the Houston Open.
Correct.
So, but look, this is the Masters. All bets are off. Jordan's won this. You have to feel the same way about Jordan as you do about Sergio, except maybe a little better for Sergio because how he's played recently. Jordan's going to make the cut. I promise you, he's going to make the cut. I said this last week and I was wrong. He finished in 69th. Haha, nice. Um, he's going to make the cut this week. I don't know how much better he's going to do, but he's going to make the cut. I'll keep it short. Ricky Fowler,
This one I'm torn on.
I'm not torn on it because he's not going to do good.
I'm torn on it just because he does well.
He's going to play a hell of a round and then he's going to shit.
Well, yeah, but it just
Also, there's a hurricane coming. Keep in mind to Georgia. So like,
yeah,
the fan, it might be hitting the fan.
yeah. He's good in Augusta. 2019 9th, 2018 2nd, 2017 11th. He has a 5th. He has a 12th to add on to that. He's only missed a cut once. I think Ricky is playable. I personally am not going to. But once again, if you are big into the risk reward
Mm-hmm.
type situation, I think Ricky could end up doing well and surprising the world and himself.
And himself.
But but I'm leaning away from it.
Yeah, I am not playing Ricky, and I'm also not playing Paul Casey. Just that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
7K. We are finally there.
Yep.
Slowly but surely. This is the Masters, and we got to make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Louis Oosthuizen starts the 7K. He hasn't missed the cut in Augusta since 2013.
Right.
He's been playing good. He finished third at the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing well. Louis Oosthuizen is 100% playable here at 7-9. The price is a little cheap, I think, comparatively where Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth haven't done anything recently.
What was that cut stat in Augusta?
Since 2013.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No. I just.
Okay. Yeah.
I personally hadn't looked it up.
Yeah, it's 2013.
Okay.
And he's played in every. Okay, so he's
I
played
see
in.
it. I see it now. Yeah.
He's played in every one since when? It's way sooner. Or later.
2009.
2009. He's played in every one since 09. He's only missed the cut. He's made every cut since 13. Right.
Correct. And he missed almost every cut before that, and then
Figured out
somehow
how to
managed to put together a second in 2012, and then missed the cut again, and hasn't since.
Yeah. So the stats are good.
Correct.
Louis Oosthuizen is definitely playable here. Scotty Scheffler is interesting because he's never played Augusta. That's not why he's interesting, but he's never played. It's his first Masters, so you got to keep that in consideration.
Mm-hmm.
He was bad, and now he's back a bit. He played 4 rounds at Houston. He looked all right. He looked all right at Zozo. I'm very conflicted on what to tell people about Scotty Scheffler.
Agreed.
I think Scotty Scheffler makes this cut, but other than that, I don't know.
I'm not against Scotty Scheffler. I personally don't like playing him. I don't know why.
Okay.
I won't be this weekend, but
Right.
that's not saying that you can't.
I think Scotty Scheffler is playable. He's one of the few people that, on the average, plays the par 4s in the area under par. That's saying a lot.
Yep.
I think Scotty Scheffler is playable, but it's very conflicting for me to tell you to play him. I'm blown away by this next one.
Mm-hmm.
We have been absolutely and utterly dumping on this man,
Yeah.
Justin Rose.
Yeah.
Nice human.
And correct. And I want to say this: if you're quickly scrolling like through the video and you see his name and you see he's like on the green and he has his own picture and all that.
Yeah.
He's on the featured
Yeah.
featured slide.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna miss this part when I'm talking about him.
Okay.
I do like him, but he is one of the people I'm talking about who's like the risk reward,
Mm-hmm.
but he's one that I'm taking.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's a risk reward, but I'm taking him, and this is why. He has been bad, and yes, we have said terrible, terrible. Not I want to say terrible things.
We've
We've
tried
just
to
been
justify them.
we've been basically telling you what's happened, that he hasn't been playing good golf.
Yeah.
He figured it out, possibly not 100% sure, but he did. His last outing on the PGA Tour was the Zozo. He
Yep.
finished tied 17th. Um, at the Zozo, he has put together the best stat line he has in a long time, which was 65.38% fairways in regulation, which was, I think the one before that was 50, and the one before that was under 50.
Mm-hmm.
Zozo greens in regulation was 70.83% for Justin Rose, and he also gained 1.021 strokes putting at Zozo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he is kind of on
Up and
the
up.
end. I just think he's nearing the end of his very long slump. And when you're as talented and as good as Justin Rose is at golf, I don't think that slump's going to last forever.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done competing at the PGA level.
Mm-hmm.
And just course history since 2003, he's 13 out of 14 at Augusta. He has 11 top 25s and 5 top 10s.
Yeah, I mean,
He knows the course. He knows exactly how he wants to play it. I am taking the risk with Justin Rose this week because I think he is coming out of it a little bit.
I'm gonna double down on the course history. He was cut in 19, but he wasn't playing well. Before that, 12th, second,
Correct.
10th, second,
Correct.
14. I mean, yeah, I like your thought process.
And also, I want to throw this out there. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of people in the 7Ks I like.
Yeah.
Um, and just because of that, I think at this point I'm gonna put him thumbs up
Mm-hmm.
because I think if you are gonna be around this like ballpark is 7-7,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good play.
Agreed. I think he could play Rosie. Here's where it gets interesting if you watch our videos. This is kind of where you'll stop hearing Jenks's voice, and it's pretty much going to be a solid me for about 15 minutes. I'll do it as fast as I can, like I always do, because Jenks gets fantastic information about the top tier players,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps me a lot planning for these shows. And this is where I take over and rank every
I
player.
want to throw this out there.
Mhm.
I think you really like this part. I think this
I
is
love
your
it.
favorite part
I love
of
the bum squat.
Yeah, so
God, I love
I'm not ever gonna one day wake up and tell you, you know what, Casey, I'm taking the 6Ks this week
The
because I
very
think your
first
day's
thing
gonna be
I
bad
do,
if
it
I
will.
say that.
The very first thing I do is the 6K and then the 7K,
So
and I see where you're at.
it's not necessarily that I have nothing to put forth when talking about these people,
Mhm.
but I can't look at a man who is so passionate about the
Yeah.
bad golfers on tour and try to take that spotlight.
Thank you.
But before
Yeah.
I am going to turn it over to you for
Mhm.
the next, significant amount of time.
Yeah.
My last person that I personally want to talk about is Sungjae.
Let me get there first
You got to do.
because I just go in order of price.
Yeah,
I'll be
I like it.
fast.
Yep.
Matt Fitzpatrick is next at 7-6. He has let me down. I took personal trauma out of it. His career at the Masters tied 7th, 32nd, tied 38th, and tied 21st. So this guy plays this course well. 29th strokes gain approach, 60 something greens in regulation. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. 77th strokes gain off the tee and tied 44th and par 4, 450 to 500. I have personal trauma. If you don't with Matt Fitzpatrick, he's definitely playable this week. Next at 7-5 is Phil Mickelson. I don't know why they keep doing this to Phil. He's not going to make the cut. Like, I wish he would, but, like, he's not. God, I love Phil.
He's getting to the point where we're going to stop talking about VJ with his social hour.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Phil Mickelson social hour.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not going to spend much more time on it because it pains me because I love Phil, but like you can't play Phil at 7-5. Throw the dude a bone and
Right.
fucking price him at 6-4.
You never want to own the guy who sees more of every golf course than Phil Mickelson.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he sees different holes when he's not playing that hole.
Phil Mickelson is the Aladdin of
he's
of the
on his
PGA
carpet
Tour.
ride. That is for sure.
He can show you the world. Sungjae M at 7-5. What do you got?
Okay. Yep. Sungjae, I actually for some reason was liking him because of something I read until I decided to look him up myself.
Yeah.
He's only 2 for 6 in majors.
Okay. Don't think he's ever played Augusta. Am I wrong?
That is, yeah. He's never played Augusta. And I read an interesting stat that I think the first two um, Masters were won, and of course by first-time players because the first year, yeah. And it's only happened once since that a person playing in his first event at Augusta has won.
Right.
Um,
And that works against people like Scotty Scheffler also.
correct. Yeah. Historically, this is one of the tougher courses in the world, and that's why it hosts probably the most prestigious tournament in the world. And I just don't want to own somebody at 7-5 who has never played it, because I think that's a little bit too much for what like we call stars and scrubs. For a scrub player, I think 7-5 is too much.
Agreed. I agree with that. Abraham Answer is next at 7-4. I think he's playable, but keep in mind that this is not the dude that was on a absolute heater at the beginning of the comeback that finished in 14th, 2nd, and 11th and 15th. He's not that guy. He's more of the 33rd, 43rd, 94th, 56th, 28th, 35th guy, in my opinion. It's also his first time in the event. Keep that in mind. Answer, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I hadn't looked him up.
Yeah.
That. Okay. First time.
The next one, he's still on the list. It pains the hell out of me because I was so hyped to get this guy at 7-4, and that's Joaquin Niemann. He is officially ruled out for the Masters. It's a bummer. The first ever questionable golfer on DraftKings is Gary Woodland.
Wait, what?
Go look.
Is he questionable?
Look.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gary's questionable to return. And let me tell you something. Even if he does return, you don't play Gary Woodland. It's pretty straightforward.
He's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been burning me like crazy. So don't play Gary. At 7-3, Cameron Smith. You're probably thinking, what am I doing? 80th in strokes gained on approach, 68th in the par fours in the area, 5th in par 5 scoring average. 5th. Why did you just have VJ sitting up on your computer?
Because we were talking about questionable, and I scrolled down. Willett and Poulter are both questionable, and then VJ's questionable but doesn't have an injury. They have no news on VJ's scene, but for some reason he's questionable.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
Anyway, back to what we were doing. Cameron Smith, I think, is playable here, and Cameron Smith has been playing well. 4th at the Zozo, 11th at CJ, 24th Shriners, 38, 24, 20, 18. He's on a bit of a hot streak, so I think he's definitely playable at 7-3. Shane Lowry is not. The course history is bad. I just don't have it in front of me. He did well in Houston, but I'm not playing Shane Lowry when you could play Cam Smith at the same price, or Matt Kuchar for a bit cheaper. Matt Kuchar historically has not missed the cut at the Masters since 2002. That is a long ass time.
Wait, really has not missed once?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Now I'm not telling you how many times he's played since 2002, but that was the last one he missed.
That's crazy.
He's got a 3rd, an 8th, a 5th, a 4th, a 12th finish, including the last one was a 12th finish. He's not playing super well right now, and I understand that. But I think he's playable because he's been famously known as an approach golfer.
Mm-hmm.
So Kuchar's definitely playable. Westwood, I'm not even going to talk about. I'm done with Lee Westwood forever. I made a mistake, and I will never, ever talk about Lee Westwood. Anything positive about him again. I don't care if he wins the damn tournament. You won't hear me talking about Lee Westwood. No. Couldn't be me. Billy Horschel, no. Cameron Champ, first time in the event. He bombs the ball a long way. That's all he does. I would not play him. Kevin Kisner, no. Brennan Todd, you would think, hey, this would be the guy for it, the approach and all that. Brennan Todd's been horrible recently. He's overpriced right now. You can't play Brennan Todd. I'm sorry. At the 7 even, Kokrak. I think Kokrak's playable, believe it or not. 96th in greens, 25th strokes gained off the tee, 45th in par 5 scoring average. He hits it a long way. He just won. His game's obviously in form at the CJ. Finished 17th at Zozo. So he's got it working. I think this guy's playable at 7. Definitely more playable than Willett. I know Willett won, but he is indeed questionable. So make sure you check Adam Schefter's tweets to make sure he comes in and plays. JK.
I just want to throw this out there about Kisner. Kisner grew up in South Carolina. His like home country club or golf club is a lot like Augusta in terms of like scenery and just like type of area, I guess, geography.
Mm-hmm.
He's also been good historically at the Masters. He's 4 for 4. He has one top 25, which was in 2019. He also has a 28th in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is playable, and I just want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I get going. If you want to throw something else out there, just like give me like a
That
hand
was
raise
the only one.
because I get locked in
Yep.
between the three screens.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kisner.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I just said about him, but
You said he's playable.
Yeah, okay,
But
that's what I thought.
7,100, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
for a guy who is as good as Kevin Kisner.
yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
Kisner is playable for
Mhm.
sure. I feel like I say what I mean to say about these people, but sometimes I can see me saying the wrong thing just because I'm trying to go.
No,
so
you
fast.
got it right.
Okay. Oh, I know I got Willett right too. Don't play Willett. Poulter is questionable. He withdrew from the Houston Open from a what? Undisclosed
He
reason.
didn't give a reason.
Jesus,
right.
Poulter. Okay.
He just kind of walked off.
Awesome. So here's the thing. Poulter's been around a long time. He knows how to golf. His last three finishes are 6th, 5th, and 12th.
Mhm.
If he plays and there's not an injury in play, you need to check on that. I don't know where you're going to check on it because I don't know where to check on it. But like, if it comes out that he just quit the Houston Open because he quit the Houston Open, I think Poulter's playable.
I'll try to figure that out for you.
Okay. If there's an injury in play, you definitely don't do it. But I think if it's just like he feels he's ready for he took a trip to Houston and it turns out it's shitty. Although he won I don't know. Just keep an eye on Poulter because he's playable. 6K, we're finally here. It's gonna go fast. Leishman, you just gotta trust me on these, okay? Leishman, no, he's been horrible. Snedeker, no, he's been okay, but not good enough to play here. This is interesting to me. Wiesberger, Van Rooyen, and Wallace. I'm gonna bunch them all together because they're all priced 6'9" and Wallace is 6'8". Wiesberger, but I'm going to start on Wiesberger. They all make the cut. Like, that's a given always. Wiesberger hasn't missed a cut since the Memorial, and he's played 4 times on the PGA Tour and 5 times on the European Tour. Van Rooyen, same deal. He doesn't usually miss the cut. He did miss at the Safeway, which was odd. Since the Safeway, he's finished 23rd at the U.S. Open 6, 27, 20 last week in Houston. Matt Wallace, same thing. Doesn't miss the cut a lot. He missed the cut last at the Wyndham, but before that, he made so many cuts I can't even see. He plays a lot on the European Tour. These are 3 guys that you might not know, just strictly PGA Tour. You're probably getting a made cut from all 3 of them. I think the game plays well, but they just don't miss the cut. Like, these guys know what to do. And I'm pretty sure Wiesberger's boys with Rory. Just want to throw that out there. Has nothing to do with anything. Stenson, love him. He's bad right now. He's really, really bad right now. His foot hurts and he's bad. Siwoo Kim, will the real Siwoo please stand up? He was once again bad at the Houston Open, but before then he finished 17th and 8th. Believe it or not, I think he could play Siwoo. The stats are all right. I don't have time to go into a ton of them, but I think they're okay. Zach Johnson, Sebastian Munoz are the next 2 in order. I think they're both playable. Zach Johnson kind of let me down this week in Houston, but he
50th.
made the 50th.
Yeah.
But he still made the cut.
Correct.
And if you're I played him at like 8 something and he made the cut. Now he's at 6'8". He's definitely probably going to make the cut here. I think he's incredible on approach this year. 28th on strokes gained approach, 16th in greens. And if you don't know who won the 2007 Masters, it's Zach Johnson. So you've got that working for you. Sebastian Munoz, the stats are okay. 70th in both strokes gained on approach and greens and regulation. Go ahead.
I'm going to chime in. I put him on the graphic here because I think this is the one time I will play Sebastian Munoz just because of his price.
What do you mean the one time? Sebastian Munoz is really good.
Correct.
Okay.
But usually, because of that, he's priced with people I want like more than him. Right now, he's priced very, very low, and that's because he has no experience at Augusta.
Right.
But he is definitely playable. He's 5 for 5 this year. He's finished 9th, 14th, and 23rd.
And 27th.
Which is pretty crazy at this price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 27th as well there. I can see how you missed that, but that's okay. 59th at the U.S. Open, then 8th and 8th in the BMW and the Tour Championship. This guy's really good at golf.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing him pretty much in every lineup. He's way too cheap. Molinari is so intriguing. He finishes 15th at Houston. If he wouldn't have done that, this would be a different conversation. Molinari's playable.
Agreed.
But he has major, major trauma after blowing the lead to Tiger last year. Keep that in mind, but it looks like he's in form. The Houston Open was a tough golf course. Don't look at the Houston Open and think, wow, the scores were low and all that. It was a tough, tough golf course. Molinari's playable. Kevin Na is not. Ben On, who I've been waiting to say something good about Ben On all 5 weeks. Ben On is playable. Don't look too far into it, but he's playable. Corey Connors is a famously fantastic approach player, but he hasn't been this year. But he's been good off the tee this year. It's kind of weird. Corey Connors, I like Corey Connors because he is famously the approach player. I think he can get it back. He's playable. Cabrera Bello is not playable. Don't do it. Lonto Griffin, 42nd in strokes gained on approach this year. He's usually a pretty good approach player. I think he's playable, even though he missed the cut at the Houston Open. Don't read too much into it. How do you say this dude's name? I never know how to do it.
58th at Houston.
What?
Lanto?
Yeah, didn't he miss the cut?
Mm.
Oh, that's my bad.
58th.
There we go.
He's coming off 7th at CJ, 11th at Zozo. I think he's playable as well. I'll agree with you there.
Thank you. How do I say this guy's name?
Who?
Budenholzer or whatever.
Oh, Christian Budenholzer.
Budenholzer. Don't play him. Yeah, that's what I thought. Char Schwartzel. I've been burned telling people to play Charles because he was playing well for like 2 events. Don't play him. He did win this event. Don't play him. Ches Reavie at 6,500 is incredibly playable. He's famously a great approach player. This year, 26th strokes gained approach, 36th in greens, 92nd in par 4s in the region. I will tell you this. He's a small man. He does not hit it far, and the par 5s are going to be tough. He might make some birdies, but he's really going to, I don't know. I think he's very playable, though. Fertelli is not. It pains me to say Hadwin is bad right now. And Victor Perez, also not playable. So that's the 6 to 6-5. 6-4 to 0 if you're new here. I rank every player. I'm not going to tell you every player. I'm going to tell you who's playable, your best option in those ranges if you're new. Holy crap. Hold on 1 second. Before I do that, I got to make sure this didn't. Okay, cool. It didn't. Fantastic. That's what you love to see. My tabs are out of order, so I'm just going to keep talking. 6-4. You're playable. 6-4 is Lucas Glover. The course history is not good. If you look it up, it's not good. I understand that. But 74th strokes gained on approach this year so far. He hits about 66% or just over 66% of greens, which ain't great, but all right. 82nd stroke gain off the tee. Fair enough. 72nd strokes gained around the green. Fair enough. The internet we need here needs to be a little bit higher, I guess. Plays the par 4s in the area just over par, but you got to remember these are the average number of par 4s, so they play so many of them. Plays the par 5s under. I think Glover is playable here. 6-3, my playable guy is JT Poston. This guy's on a tear. Does anybody know? Does anybody recognize that? Probably not. JT Poston, 20th in Houston, 51st at CJ, 27th at Shriners, 3rd at Sanderson. Remember, this is a $6,300 golfer. To go with it, 77th strokes gained on approach, tied 15th in par 5 scoring average. Tied 15th this year.
He by far had the best season of his career last year.
Yeah. So Poston's on the up and up, and he's definitely playable. At 6'2", I've got 2 guys here. If you've seen these videos before, I'm imagining you're probably not surprised I'm talking about Andrew Putnam. I don't know why Putnam's in this tournament, but he is. He's 86th greens in regulation, tied 44th in the par 4s in the area. So there's that. He's my second favorite 6,200 guy because Nate Lashley, for some reason, has good stats.
Mm-hmm.
22nd around the green, 65th greens in regulation, 82nd par 5 scoring average, and tied 44th in par 4s in the area. For $6,200, he's probably making the cut here. Same with Putnam. I think Putnam or Lashley are interchangeable, but I would go with Lashley. At $6,100, CT Pan. I believe I told you to play CT Pan last week. Why CT Pan? Okay. So I don't know which direction I want to go. Okay, I'll go with the stats first. CT Pan, 92nd strokes gained on approach this year. Hits 66% of greens. Where's that other good stat for CT? 85th in strokes gained around the green. 38th in par 4s in the area. And he plays the par 5 significantly under par. Why the hell is CT Pan priced with Fred Couples and Trevor Immelman?
Yeah,
and Bernard Longer.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
CT Pan brings the average age of the 61 range down 100 years. So I don't understand that. Maybe they're hiding him. I don't know. He's made 6 straight cuts back to the PGA Championship, which I don't blame him there. He makes a lot of cuts. He's been making cuts recently. For $6,100, it's a crime for CT Pan to be this cheap. From there, I don't think you should play anybody in the 6,000 range unless VJ Singh becomes unquestionable. But no, I'm just playing with you. Don't play VJ. But yeah, the 6K and the 6-1 range are pretty much just old Masters winners that have no chance to win or probably even make the cut. Except CT Pan. The disrespect is real on CT Pan's name. So that's it.
I do like the Masters just because you have a guy who won in 1985
Yeah.
and he's playing. It's pretty cool. And that's Bernard.
If
in
I
case
had,
I lost anybody.
and you know what's crazy? That's your best chance for a made cut of the old guys. Like he still plays on Champions Tour and wins all the time.
Yeah,
like that's your best chance for if you're gonna play one of those guys, play longer.
He made the cut at RBC Heritage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he put together 3 rounds under 70.
Insane.
Yeah.
So like if you're gonna play one of them dudes, play longer. I would. I mean, right? And you only listen to me. Alrighty, we're through it. Except I always forget for the picks. Now, if you're new here, I'll run it down for you quickly. We can only pick our winner each week once. So, as you see on the graphic last week, Jenks picked Tony Finau. He cannot pick Tony Finau again all year long. I picked Lee Westwood, and I said some things about him, and I don't take back any of them. Guy was bad. So that's an updated there. The FedEx Cup points are updated. Jenks has taken a swift lead over me at 50-21. I now sit at 2 for 5 on the year in top 25s. You now sit at 1 for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had the people for a long time. Hopefully you're still listening. If you are, thank you so much. But Jenks, the time has come. Remember, if you win the Masters, the winning the majors gets way more FedEx Cup points than regular. I think it's like 100 or 200.
I'm gonna let you go first on the winner.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because I think you might go somewhere, and if you do, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Well, I wrote a big long article about why I picked Xander.
Right.
But I don't think I'm going to.
Okay.
I think I'm going to save that one for the April Masters that we'll still have. I don't know, man. Something's telling me Brooks Koepka.
Okay.
So I think he's healthy. I think he's going to win this event at some point. So you know what? Screw it. Give me Brooks Koepka.
Cool. Then I'll just take the guy on the same slide, and I'll go Xander.
Okay. Fair enough.
There we have it.
Xander and Brooks, or Brooks and Xander, I guess I should say. Boy, if Xander wins, you know how hot I'm going to be. I mean,
you wrote the whole article.
I feel. Alrighty, so those are the picks right there, and now for the top 25s. If you're new, we're picking a guy to finish top 25. They have to be priced under the 8K range, so 79 and below. Since I went first, why don't you go first on this one and tell me who's going to finish in the top 25?
Yeah, I'm going to go bold. I'm going to stick to what I said, and I'm going to go Justin Rose.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm not too confident that this will work out, but since I am using him as my risk factor in my lineups, I might as well stick with it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not surprised. I usually would have picked Joaquin Niemann, but I can't do that because he's out.
I'm sad about that. Not even for us playing him, but I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Hopefully, well, he should be able to play in April.
Yeah.
Because of personal trauma, I'm not going to pick Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
So give me the freaking Louis O. Give me Oosthuizen.
I like that.
Give me Louis Oosthuizen. So there you have it. I have picked Brooks Koepka to win. I have picked Louis Oosthuizen to finish in the top 25. You have picked Xander Schauffele, who I've picked for months, to win, and Justin Rose to finish in the top 25. That's it. We're through it. Holy cow, this is a long one. But this is the Masters. This is Masters Week. If you're a golf fan, you should be excited. Go enter the $1 million contest. I think I'll know you'll see people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be in there. Look for our names. If you beat us, congrats. Probably will.
Yeah, congrats. For sure.
So that's it. Follow social media if you so choose. If you're viewing this on Facebook, hopefully you are. Thanks for tuning in. Even if you're on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're going to get out on this, but Jenks has something to add.
I think it's only right we dedicate this to Alex.
Alex Trebek?
Yeah, this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still sad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough day here. And
Yeah.
now, did they watch? No, probably not. You probably didn't watch Jeopardy if you lived in a different country, huh?
I don't know, dude. I
Well,
would
it's
have
in English,
no idea.
so
But I have no idea.
I have no idea. So at the end of the day, man, now it's sad. Way to go. Way to go. R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Hopefully there's a video of or a picture of Alex Trebek on your screen right now.
We can make that work.
We'll make that happen.
Check out the $10 million putt that won the 2016 FedEx Cup bonus for this man, also known as Wee Mac. And his name is Rory McIlroy. And like most of America, I'm going to be watching the championship this weekend.
It's unfortunate to say we lost the legend yesterday at the age of 80, but I have a good feeling he'll have a great seat to watch the Masters this weekend. And if you were asking me a Jeopardy question on who I think he's watching with, there's only one answer. Who is Arnold Palmer? Best of luck in your contest this week, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe, and come back next week when we talk about the RSM Classic.